What's happening, people? Welcome back to Barcelona. We're actually leaving today, going to our next destination, Cape Town, and I'm going to take you there. Just to catch you up on everything, I did a shoot the other day with Marcel, who I've shot with before. We actually shot some football stuff up in Montjuic. But the other day we headed to the beautiful area of Badalona. I got some behind the scenes, so let's check that out now.
Próxima estación, Badalona Hotel. Final peligro.
Chin up a little bit. I mean, I couldn't quite believe I was shooting in that setting, but here we are. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cases. We're just going to order a taxi to get to the airport. We've shed a little bit of weight. I've actually sent my bike back to the UK because about a month ago, about 3 weeks to 4 weeks ago, I twisted my knee quite badly on my bike, and if you know me, you'll know that my knees have always been a massive issue since I was 18, tearing ligaments and stuff and having a bunch of surgeries. So I didn't think it was worth the risk to take it to Cape Town. I'm not sure quite what this BMX scene is like there anyway. I'm sure it would have been super interesting and like great to explore, but I'm going to take a couple of months off the BMX basically, and we will be reunited at some point. For now, I'm going to get a taxi. We've got about the best part of 24 hours of travel ahead of us. Yeah, over 24 hours of travelling, starting right now. Here we are in Cape Town in our beautiful Airbnb. We really lucked out with this Airbnb. It's massive, it's airy, it's spacey, it's everything that the Barcelona Airbnb wasn't. I would give you a little apartment tour, but Helen is teaching a class online at the moment, so I won't interrupt that. That would be a little bit weird if you were in her class and I was wandering about vlogging, camera in hand and everything. But one thing I can show you is the view from our Airbnb, so let me show you that. So this is Signal Hill, and you'll know, if you know Cape Town at all, you'll know that this forms part of like the city bowl, which the main sort of city centre sits in. So the sun rises just over the hill there as I sit here in the mornings having a little coffee, and even though they say it's only 20 degrees sometimes, which is reasonably mild even for European cities, you will still get burnt in an instant. The African sun, it's a lot more intense. We've got a little paraglider there. I don't know if you can quite see them, but they take off from Signal Hill and they fly over the apartments all day, every day, and then they circle sort of into the park, which is on the other side there. Robben Island in the distance there. I've got quite a wide lens on, so you might not be able to see that. Cool, I've given myself a little microphone. How about this? This is quite cool. I can do a little sit down chatty number. So to some people, Cape Town might seem like a bit of a curveball destination, but actually when we were thinking, well, I'll go back to the start. Initially we were thinking Barcelona, and then we'd go to Bali over winter, over like northern hemisphere winter, but when we were looking at booking everything for Bali from Barcelona, we saw that it was the rainy season, and that's not what we're looking for. We're trying to escape the UK winter and enjoy like the outdoors and everything, which I'm sure would still be, and I'm absolutely positive it's still beautiful in Bali at this time of year, but that's not just quite what we were looking for at the moment. And I think it was myself that had the idea of Cape Town for a number of reasons. The time zone is pretty much the same. We're on European time, so GMT +1, so we're an hour ahead of the UK, and same time zone as Barcelona. So that works well for both of us, because a lot of the time we're working with British clients, especially Helen, who's teaching online, and I think most of her clients are either based in the UK or America, so she has to work around them, and she's got a solid time frame to teach online for all that sort of stuff. And for me, Cape Town is actually a massive destination for European and UK brands and agencies and stuff over the winter, because I wouldn't say it's cheap to get here, but when you're here it's cheap, and production is cheap, and the locations are beautiful. So I thought actually this might be a great opportunity to come to Cape Town and kind of embed myself in the photography scene a little bit, and try and just, if nothing else, massively improve my portfolio by doing personal work here and using the location and the local production and everything, and also try and appeal to UK and European brands and brands that I've worked with before. So on that note, before we came out here, when we were in Barcelona, I reached out to a photography agent and asked if they would be interested in representing me, told them I was coming over for the next few months and if they would be keen, to which they said yes, which I was delighted to. They seem like a great agency, and so far they've been really good helping me out with just information, local information about costings and stuff, and also putting me forward for tons of briefs and jobs that they've had come in, and they've involved me in that process a little bit as well, which is great, which is something that I didn't really get with previous agents. I've had a couple of agents in the UK before, one which I recently just left, and yeah, I didn't feel I was getting that, so already these guys have made such a massive good impression on me, so they seem like great people to work with. So far so good on that front. I need to get some test shots done and just kind of get out there and use this landscape and the resources here to create great images, which kind of leads me around to the next topic, which is when a lot of people think about Cape Town, they think about the high crime rate and how sort of dangerous reputation the city has. We just got a helicopter going over, so I will maybe just wait for that helicopter to go over. So yeah, I just need to speak to a bit more people in the industry about what it's like to shoot on location, in the streets, on the beaches, in the mountains, everything like that, and just get a feel for what sort of precautions you need to take, because like I say, Cape Town does have a reputation of having a high crime rate, and it's kind of justified if you read any of the statistics or anything like that. What we've actually found in the few weeks that we've been here, granted we have stuck to the sort of touristy, more well-off areas, but what we have found is that if you speak to locals and you're polite and everything, then you get the same back. And actually all the locals and everyone from here are super nice and super polite and amazing people. And yeah, it's just a shame that the country, the continent has gone through what it's gone through, what its history is like, and it's in the situation it's in, and crime is very high, so you do have to be super vigilant. It's not like your typical European city where you can walk around with your phone out checking things. You just have to be a bit more vigilant about what you're carrying on you, and how sort of fast and loose you might be appearing with expensive items. As long as you're vigilant and kind and nice to people, that tends to be what you get back, unless you kind of venture into the more sketchy areas, but you do get sketchy areas wherever you are in the world. So yeah, maybe I can talk about that more in a future video. If you're thinking of coming to South Africa, if you're thinking of coming to Cape Town, you can let me know in the comments below. And otherwise, it's been a really busy couple of weeks since we got here. I've been working on a lot of video editing, which is something that I've kind of diverted into since we started this sort of digital nomad journey, as well as obviously trying to getting hairs off the mic, as well as obviously trying to get as much photography work as possible. I've been able to get some video editing stuff, and I've always kind of lent my hand to video editing ever since uni, sort of 10 years ago, and obviously making YouTube videos and BMX videos and picking up stuff like that. The opportunity came up to work with an agency back in London on some video editing stuff a couple of days a week, so I've started working with them. It's been great, and I've picked up the odd other freelance job video editing as well from that, and it's kind of given me a confidence in my video editing skills, so that's great. And I've also picked up some really good retouching work, which is brilliant. So it's two things that I knew I could always do, but when I was based in London, I didn't pick them up for whatever reason. I was too sort of like blinkers on photography all the time, but I had these skills I could have been using this whole time, and I think maybe that's the first big lesson I've taken from this digital nomad journey, if you want to call it that. You know that the skills are there, the knowledge is there, and most people will have something that they're almost not aware of that they can use. And yeah, I guess that's one of the first big takeaways that I've gotten from this little journey that we're on. It's been the best part of 3.5 months now. We've been in Cape Town for 3 weeks today, and yeah, loving it. I'm looking forward to sharing a bit more of the day today here. We've joined a gym down the road. We've been going every day, where I think we've taken about 3 rest days since we got here, so we've been loving that. And I'm looking forward to exploring the landscapes more. There's tons of hikes everywhere just out our door there. We've got Signal Hill, which goes to Lion's Head, which we've already hiked up, which is just insane. The views from up there are crazy. And we've been up Table Mountain in the cable car as well. But I'll explain all that other stuff in other videos, as well as an apartment tour, but Helen's teaching now, so I won't do that. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Arrivederci. Ciao. Adios, as they say in Spain.